Hi and welcome back to my channel Crafty Calamity. Today I'm going to be using the Season's Greetings Designer Deco Large Collection, and I've decided to go with the swans. You get the base layer with all the sentiments, and then you get the decoupage sheet just for one card. So this one makes two cards. You get two sheets of this, one sheet of this, and two sheets of the patterned card. And then you also get two of the inserts that go with the cards. So I'm just going to put that to the side because I don't actually need that at the minute. And I'm using a gold style card that I've already got out of my stash for this one because it's going to be quite big. And the aperture colour is silver, so I've gone for a silver mirror card for this one. So I think I'm going to do a 10th fold on this one. So that's just under the 8 and just under the 8 in size. Just going to plonk that there for a sec while I cut the silver mirror. I can turn it the other way so it doesn't glare in the light. So I'm going to go 4 notches under the 8. And 4 notches under the 8. And we have that left over for the side. Put that down there. Bear with me a second, I just need to put my fan on because I'm sweating. It's a bit warm in here in my craft room. Right, so we've done the base layer. Hopefully. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, as I go along, I'm going to stick these layers down first, and I'm going to use the finger lift tape for my silver mirror. Should be enough on there for that. Get my pokey tool so I can grab these off. It wants to come away from the tape. Do the same on this one. If I can. There we go. I think my pokey tool's still got a bit of tape stuck to it. I'll have to try and get that off. Oh, come on. Be nice to me today. Right. Being a bit awkward today, this tape. Let's make sure that I've got this card up the right way before I go sticking it down. And what I'm going to do, just to give it a little bit of wriggle time so it doesn't stick first time, let's just put a little bit of tacky glue on there so that I can wriggle it around if I need to. Tuck that little bit in because I went over a little bit, and then line this up. I hope I don't get my head in the way all the time when I'm trying to line up the card and the layers. There we go. That's worked out better than the last video, or last couple of videos I did, because I was having a bit of a problem with my mat and layers for some reason. I was getting myself in a little bit of a 2 and 8 with all the different mat and layers. So that one was 4 notches under, so I'm going to go 2 notches under that one. Line it up, get it straight. Nearly cut it the wrong way. So that was there, so 2 notches under the, so it's more or less 6 notches under the 8. And that should be hopefully the right size for the top of this. Just going to check it to make sure. I mean, if you want to do your mats and layers so they've a little bit more, got a bit more of the silver showing through, then that's down to you. And then this little bit I can use as a border on something else, or another card that I make. Maybe next time, or when I decide to come back with this kit. And stick double-sided tape onto the back of this one. You can use glue. I do use glue now and again, but sometimes I prefer just to use the double-sided tape. Sometimes I find the glue just a little bit, I don't know if it's because I put too much on and it gets in the right mess, so I tend to go between the two sometimes of using this. Obviously when I'm doing the decoupaging bit I always use the foam pads. Just to give it a bit of more of a dimension on the card. Taking the backings off on these. Sometimes they're a little bit fiddly. Same again, just putting a bit of tacky glue on these edges. And just a little bit in the middle. Just so I've got a little bit of wriggle room again. Just to make sure that it's going to sit in the right place where I want it, and it's not going to be all, you know, wobbly, skew with, and now we have the top layer, well, the base for the card, which is tenfold, just like that. So I'm just going to move all my little bits out the way and the card base, and then I'm going to bring in all of this decoupage bit. Just going to flip it over and find some foam pads. Some of them you only need little ones on, other ones you need bigger ones, depending on the size of the thing, but you can see them from the back, so where they're die cutted out, to make it easier for placing these kind of things on. You can do this before you actually put the card, start making the card, or you can do it like I'm doing it. Sometimes it's best to do this prior to setting up the card, because then all you've got to do is just pop them out, place them where they need to go, and it's done. You can put as many or as little as you want, depends on how giving you want it to be, or how firm you want it to be. It's up to you what sort of style of these pads you want to use, or if you want to use thinner ones. strips. Just put a bit on there. Need to put a couple of bits on this one down the bottom here. I just tend to cut mine to make them a little bit smaller so that they can go on in some of the awkward places, because you do get awkward places on these, like on the duck, that's not a duck, on the swan bit here, on their necks. So I think I'm going to have to go cut these ones. I've cut in half again, and I can put a bit on their neck so that when I'm putting these together on top of each other, they've got a little bit of support there. Some of them might be a little bit too wide, so I might have to go back in with the scissors and cut them, the other ones down a bit smaller. Some of these ones are a little bit thinner, so we'll just go with these ones. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully they're not too wide. Put another bit on that one. Maybe another one on there. Where else? I need one there. Let's see if I can make these a couple of very thinly, so I can just go across onto there, onto these little swan heads. Okay, that should be plenty, hopefully. So now I'm just going to put that to the side for a moment, and I pull out one of these ones, and then I'm going to start decoupaging it up to find out which one goes first. I think it might be this middle one here. This is the fun part of doing a decoupage image, is making sure that when you pop the layers out and you're putting the layers on, that you've got them all up, all the right ones in the right places, because I have made mistakes before, and some cards where I've missed a layer out and then realised, and lucky enough I've been able to pull it off to put the layer on that I missed back on. So this one, just line it up. Sometimes putting a bit of tacky glue on these pads does help to give you a bit of wriggle, so that if you need to adjust it, you can. Like so. The next one I think is this one here at the bottom. So just pull this one out. Just be careful when you're pulling these out, because some of them, if you're not careful when you're pulling them out, they could rip. Poking their head out. This one, that's better. Just poke that one out as well, just so I can see which is the next layer, which I think I said, yes, it's definitely this one is the next layer. So just putting these backings off again on this one. Before I put this down onto the base, I might decide to use the little border strip that's come with this kit on this decoupage. Just laying them up. I mean, they don't take that long to do once you get going. The fan is blowing all my bits away all over the place. And if you do hear any background noise, because I've got the window open, there's somebody doing some work outside. I don't know what they're doing, but so that might come through on the microphone. So that's that bit, and now we've just got these other ones to do. And you do get a sentiment on here as well, on this decoupage, as well as the 3 sentiments on the other sheet that I took the base bit out of for this decoupage to go on. But I ripped it then, got caught, and it is good. They're good. The swans are good. Just going to take the rest of these layers out while I'm here. As I said, these don't want to come out that well, and you just have to be a bit careful around their feet. So this is the first card I've made using this decoupage kit. I've got quite a few different Hunkydory collections that I've got since I joined. They're Diamond members subscription, which is quite good. But it's just, sometimes it's when you're looking at their stuff that they do when they do their shows on a Monday to Friday on YouTube or on Facebook, whichever you like. They have so much to choose from, and it's like, yeah, you go, yeah, I want that one, but I also want that one, and I also want that one. But you have to decide sometimes what you want, otherwise you'll end up having no money left whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, Hunkydory stuff is really, really nice, but you have to set limits for yourselves, otherwise you'll just buy everything and right, well, now we're just layering this one up. I mean, these are quite good when they're layered up. You see the dimension on them. So we're just going to keep going to layer this up. Now these two look the same. I know, they're slightly different. So that one's first. This one's got a little bit of snow under his foot. I mean, most of my cards are more what they call straightforward cards, because I'm still getting to grips with doing all these fun fold cards. I mean, I've done a few by watching a few videos of people doing different style of card making, or card shapes I should say. So I would like to try a stepper card, but I think I need to practice that before I do that on video. But some of the cards that people make are really, really good and really, really nice. Sort of a statement card. And it's deciding when you make a card if you want to keep it for yourself and send it to somebody, or whether you want to sell it, or sell it, or whether you want to keep it or give it to somebody in your family, a friend. Decision is yours, choice is yours. So I'm going to bring my card back in now and decide where I'm going to put him. them, the family, the swans. No, wrong scissors. So I have two pairs of scissors, one that I use for my cutting my tape and cutting my pads, and one that I use for cutting like paper, cardstock, things like this out of the card, so they don't get sticky and get stuck to this and rip it. So I can either go down, so I've got two little bits here, I could go across like that and what they call feather it with that one, or I could go that way down with that one as well and feather them and put that there, or I could go up there with it. I think it looks better down, so the little swan on the left, the first one is going to, this one in on the card is going to get covered up slightly, I think, because I think I'm going to go there with it. I'm going to go there with them maybe, or I'm going to go across. I'm not decided on what sentiment I want to use on this card as yet. So we have this one, from our family to yours. I have this one. What sentiments I don't use, I can use in the little book. With the little book, as I've got the little book as well with this collection. I tend to buy, when I buy this collections, I tend to buy the whole collection rather than just a few, because I know me, if I didn't, I'd be wanting to buy them anyway, so it works out cheaper buying them in the full collection than it does buying them separately. So I'm just going to do this like a little, into a little V shape on here without cutting my fingers, like that. So that one can go across there like so, and this I'm just going to put some tacky glue on. I'm not sure whether I'm going to use the whole thing on this one, or whether I'm going to make it just a tad smaller so that it ties in with this one. I'm going to try and put that, actually I've changed my mind, I'm going to go this way with them, so where I want, I'm going to turn this over so I can put a pencil mark of where I want to chop this bit off, because I don't need to use all of it on this one. So I think I'm just going to go right to here, so it's above their heads, and I'm just going to use my scissors to cut that. And then the same again on this one, I'm just going to do the little V shape inside. Like so. So that's going to be placed on there, so I'm just going to use my tacky glue for this bit. The thing is, when I make cards I have to try and remember not to squeeze so much out like I've done there, because it goes all over the sides. So I'll just put that to the side for a minute. And I don't know, I might take this one a little bit smaller as well, just so it's shorter than the one I've just put on. So I'm just going to turn that there, and I'm just going to snip across that bit there, mark it with a pencil, and then cut along there, because I've already done the other end, had the little V shape cut out. And I'm going to stick this one on the side, like that one. Just on there like so. That's cool. And then this one, I'm not going to put them on foam pads, I'm just going to stick this one down on some double-sided tape so it sits flat on the base of the card, because it's already got all that dimension in it from the being decoupaged up. So I'm just going to put a few bits on here, a couple of bits on there, and then that one on there, and hopefully if I've put it down good enough I should be able to pick this off, the back end off with my fingers. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a burnish down just to make sure it's all stuck, because I don't know what it is with this. It's supposed to be finger lift, but it doesn't like being finger lifted. So I have to come in with my pokey tool again and just pull them back ends off. Bear with, nearly done. One more bit. There we go, that's that bit off. Bring my card back in again so I can place this down. Ooh, let's put a bit of tacky glue on these corners again. There we go. Just so I've got a bit more wriggle room again. Oh, so I'm going to put this one, sorry Mr. Swan, I'm going to cover you over. Just on there like that. And then when he sits up, it's going to sit like that. So you can see the dimension just from that one topper. Really good. Move that out of the way. And I think I'm going to go in with From Our Family to Yours, wishing you a wonderful time. So I could put that one on there. And maybe I can put this one down in this corner here. I think that'll look pretty cool down the bottom there. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with these two. So this one's going to go down the bottom here. Just in that bottom left corner. And then this one is going to go on the top. So I'm just going to put some foam pads on this one to place them down. That should be enough. That one stuck to my thumb. I've lost my pokey tool again. Although these come off pretty good with my fingers, so I'm just going to use my fingers. Make sure I don't put it on upside down, because that would not be good, will it? There, that's that one. And something different, just going to put that to the side for a second, and I'm just going to have a little bit of a clear down with all this backing tape and stuff, so I can do the next bit on the card without getting this everywhere as well. Just bear with me a second while I put my bin in. Just swish this all into the bin and have a clear surface again. There we go. I keep sliding off my chair. Right, so the glitter I've got is Diamond Frost. I've not used glitter before on a card, so this be the first time using glitter on a card. So I'm just going to use this and one of my glue pens, and I'm just going to glitter just certain bits on the swans, I think. I don't even know it. I've never used this, so yeah, it does work. Just going to put a little bit on some of these ones here where they've got the snow on their little tummies. So not going to be much glitter. Like I say, I've never done glittering before, so we're just going to try it. Sometimes I find using glitter a little bit messy, but we're going to go with this one today and try it. Something different. Let's give that a bit of a thing and give it a bit of a tap down. Then you can't really see it, but you can sort of see the glitter, and then when it's dried I'll give it a little bit of a brush over just to get rid of that excess glitter. It's very fine, this glitter. I got it off of Amazon. It was about £6 something, £6.99, something like that. I've also got another one, but these are just from the work, so I don't really know how good they are. It doesn't tell you what colour it is, it's just like white, so it's more like a snow as well, I suppose. Then I've got a pink one and a gold one for some of the other cards that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to stick that over there out the way. So that's card number 1. Oh no, I'm not finished it yet. I'm going to cut the insert to go in. I've lost the insert now. Oh, I'll put it over behind me. So here's the insert. So you could go with the swans on this one if you really wanted to, or you could just do it without the swans. I'm going to put the swans inside the card, so I'm going to go 4 notches under the 8 again for this bit on both sides, leaving the swans intact, and that way too. Normally I use my guillotine for the paper because but my guillotine, I've got a big one, but it's up on the wall out the way. So I'm just going to check to see. I'm not going to mat and layer this one, just because it's going on the inside of the card and it's not going to get seen until someone opens the card. So I'm just going to check to make sure it's not too big. Yeah, that's perfect for that. So all I'm going to do with this is just put a little bit of tacky glue on, just because it's a paper insert. Very thin nozzle, doesn't seem to want to come out of this nozzle for some reason. That should do it. It's a bit all over the place. Just be gentle turning this card over. I'm probably going to be covered in glitter. And then just gently push this into the card and smooth it out so that glue spreads out a little bit, and then there we have that card. It's still showing lots of glitter on there. Like I say, it's very fine glitter, and I do have a brush somewhere just to get some of that off. camera doesn't really pick up the glitter on these cards, so I'm going to try and see it on there, on the little swan, just a tiny bit of glitter there. Trying to get it under the camera, and I was moving it away from the camera. There we have that one. So that is card number 1. So I'll be back with card number 2, but card number 2 is probably going to be one of these to use up the little bits of paper and cardstock that I've got from this one. It's probably going to be one of these little ones out of this book that goes with this collection. You get all the same collection in here as you do on the like the main kit. You get this with it when you order the luxury one. So yeah, I might go with the swans on the next card. So I'll be back after I've tidied down this one and set up ready for my next card. Okay, I'm back now. So I went and had a drink. I've still got it actually, so you might see me swigging on my coffee just to drink it. Okay, so I've taken this little card. It's still a 10th fold, and it's only a small one. It's not a very big one, so it's 4.5 by 6 3/4. So I've taken the swans out of the little book that comes with this kit, the Season's Greetings, and I've taken 3 pages out of this one. So I'm just going to put them to the side for the moment, and I'm going to do a matte and layer. I've got a little bit of ribbon just in case I decide to use it. I've lost my trimmer, found my trimmer. So as this card is 5.5 by 6 3/4, I'm going to take this gold mirror down to 2 notches under 5.5. And then not 5.5, 4.5, sorry. So 2 notches under 4.5. That's 5 that getting muddled up with me measures again. So take that bit off there, and that should go on there. Why is it every time I do a fold card there, it's always so that's 4.5. Try again on this bit. So that's 4.5 there. I'm going to go 4.5 just to have a look to see. So I don't know why this is. Why are you not doing what I want? So you're 4.5. And you're 4.5 there, so you're not even wide enough. Go 5.5. Okay, that's alright. I can use these with mats on something else, on another card that I've got to do another time. I'm just going to have to get another bit of silver mirroring. I just dropped it on the floor. I've got it. So I'm going to cut this down to, so that's 5. That's 5, that's 5.5, so I'm just going to take it 2 notches under that, and hopefully this one will work. Yeah, that's better. I don't know what happened with that other bit. And then this way it is, as I was saying, just under the 6 1/4. So that's 6 and that's 1/4. So if I take that down, that's 6. Again, to need my arm out. So that's 6 1/4 there, 6 3/4, sorry. I'm going to take it down to there, 2 notches under that, and hopefully I've not. Okay, I'm going to have to cut a bit more off of this one. Don't know what's going on here again. As I say, I'm not very good with my. So I've got the 5, so it's 1, 2, 3 notches above the 5. So it's 5 1/4, not 6 1/4. So I'm going to try and take that. So that's 5 1/2. I'm going to take it down to there, and hopefully it's probably too small again for some reason. Don't know what's going on with my measurements today, I really don't. I'm having a bad day again. Just like the other day, of cutting these mirrors and everything. So 5 1/2 I said. Yeah. I need 5 1/2 that way. So that's 5 1/2. So I'm going to go 2 notches under the 5 1/2, which is that little tiny sliver. It's still not. That's 5 1/2. It's 2 notches. So I'm going to go there. I'll go 4 notches, and hopefully this will work. I don't think this card is very straight either. Let's take another little tiny snippet off of there. So I don't actually know what's going on with this card. Measurement. Hopefully this is not too small now. No, that'll do. And then this way I need it to be. So 5 1/2, 5 3/4. So that's 5 1/2. That's 5 1/2. That's 5 3/4. And take it 2 notches under that. And there we go. At last we've got the right size. I'm just going to put these all on the side for later on. Throw the little bits in the bin because I'm not going to be saving them for anything. And then we get onto this one. That's going to be for the insert. So this is 4 1/4 just over and just there. So I'm going to keep the bottom in on this one. I'll try to. Sometimes using this bit as a guide, it's not as wide, so there's going to be a bit of a gap between the bottom and the top. So what I'm going to do is just come underneath this snowflake, round about there, so it gives me an even thing around the whole card there though. So I've still got this tiny little bit left to use on the top of this card. So I'm just going to put that to the side for the moment. I'm going to bring in my finger lift tape just to do this. Both pieces. I think I need a little bit more on that one. So it goes to the top, there we go. And there's the fun bit again, of getting this backing off. Like so. Put that to the side for a minute because this is the bit I needed first. I needed the mirror bit first. So I can put this onto my card, blank card. The card here that I'm using is just an offcut from an A3 piece of card that I used to make another card the other day. So I just wanted to use these up a little bit. And I was meant to put some tacky glue on that just to give me a bit of wriggle room so I could move it around a bit, but I forgot. Do it on this card bit. I'm going to go this way up. It's going to have a little bit of a border around this one. Could have gone with a smaller card, but I decided to stick with this one. So I'm just going to leave this bit on, I think, and that's not the right scissors. And I'm just going to fussy cut around all the swans, and hopefully I don't cut their beak off. I mean, I don't normally fussy cut, and I've been watching, as I say, a Hunkydory demonstrators doing this on fussy cutting, and they tell you the best way to do a fussy cut is to move your paper rather than your scissors around, rather than moving your scissors. I still need to get the hang of that. Because I tend to be more of a scissor mover than a paper mover. I'm just going to bring this around. And down. I'm just going to trim this little bit up here. And then I've got a little bit in here of his beak, which I'm going to try and get him out of the way. Like so. See, what I was going to do was I was going to put this on there, but this is a bit bigger than the actual sheet, so it's going to cover everything over. So I'm just going to put this on there like that. So I'm just going to stick this one down on there. A couple of bits of this just to hold it in place. Right down to the bottom, stick him down, and on these bits I think I'm just going to put a bit of tacky glue on their heads. just so they stay in place. And then I'm going to do the same with these two, but to save me a little bit of time, I'm going to try and then cut them, fussy cut them out at the same time together. I don't think they're going to be a perfect like fussy cut. I'm using the wrong scissors, that's probably why they're sticking. I think I've just ordered a new set of scissors from Hunkydory today, so I'll just have to wait for them to turn up. In the next couple of days or so. I mean, you don't have to fussy cut these or do more than one layer. If you don't want to, you can just do this one layer and then stick your sentiment on, and that's your card done with the leftover card and leftover paper from the first card that I made. But I've decided to go in with this. Just going to come around a little bit more on this one. Take this little bit out that's inside here, like so, and then this one I'm just going to use a few like foam pads, these bigger ones I think. Yeah, I'm going to go in with these square ones on this one, and then maybe I've got a couple of bits that these strips here I can use on these, on the head bit, with any luck. Get these backings off. So I was concentrating then not to rip it. Try and match it up as best as I can with the other ones that are underneath. Like so. I don't know whether I'm going to put this other one on. What I might do actually is I'm going to fussy cut around here. I'm going to cut their legs off, just so it's a different kind of setting. And I didn't put the ribbon on in the end either. Forgot about the ribbon, but I might put a bow on it instead, just to That's that sheet finish, just to tie it in with the bow, the blue. Let's put another couple of bits on these ones, like so. A bit on there. And take these backings off again. I mean, I'm trying to be quick with this card because I haven't got a lot of time today. I thought I was going to have a bit more time than this to do this one, but I've got to go and do something else. I thought I'd just have a quick play before I went off to do what I've got to do. I mean, you can take your time a bit better than me, but this is just my take on using a little pad to do a decoupage. It's not perfect, but it's just to use up that little. If I'd thought about it a bit better, I could have the first layer I could have cut down just a tad more, but I didn't, so I'll have to go with that. Maybe no, it's not going to come off now, so I'm just going to have to be happy with the way that that's turned out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to foam pad it up, and these little square ones, and I'm going to put that at the bottom. And if I had a border, I could have used a border across there. Could have gone in across there with that to hide, so that looks like it's sitting underneath and the snow's there, but I think I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to put Winter Wishes on this top one because it's a lighter colour, and then I'm going to put this one at the bottom. I mean, you don't have to do 2 sentiments, you can just use the 1 sentiment, but I'm going to use 2 on this one, and this one is going to go down here on the bottom, just there. So there we have that one, and I'm going to see if I've got a blue bow. I've got light blue, I don't think I've got any dark blue. Let me just have a look at a light blue one just in this corner. Or I could go with, what other colour have I got that would match? I've got like a creamy colour. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with this cream one. Just to finish that corner, just to finish this small card off. And there we go. So that's that one finished now. Just going to tidy up a little bit, put some stuff away, and then bring in the 2 cards that I've made, shove them out the way. And I've still got this to go inside, so I'm not going to do that on camera, I'm going to do that off camera. And I've still got them few little bits left over from the whole topper set that I had with the swans. So yeah, still got quite a bit left over really, but I can save what's left Well, actually this one is going to be cut up just to go in there. It's going to be a small one, so I'm going to go that way so it just matches the same as the top of the card, the outside of the card. And then obviously these two bits, and then that bit, and then the little bit left from there, which I might keep because I might end up making a card that it's going to use, maybe be able to use some of this left over on another one of the cards out of that collection. I'll have to wait and see when I get around to making any more of them ones. So these are the two cards that I've done today. I mean, that one purposely I would have liked to have gone a little bit different with that at the bottom here, like I say, but it's good enough. I'm happy with it. It stands up, looks good. So yeah, there's the two cards. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you again next time I do a video. Take care of yourselves and thank you for subscribing. Bye bye for now.